Welcome. We are here to give you a tour of Digital Media Dojo. I'm Jennifer.
I'm John.
And this is our website for our gamification of our classrooms. Here on the website, you can see, of course, the welcome. There's a bunch of different information across the top, but this is what our students see every single day when they walk into the classroom and get onto the site. The next thing that the kids do is log in, which we will do with you today. We're going to log in as an administrator. That way you can see everything on the site, and we are going to show you what the kids see, what we see, a little bit about feedback for grading, the store, all the different pieces that kind of make up our site. The first thing when you log in that I want to point out is up at the top left corner. This is our stats bar. Every single kid sees this. This plays right into the gaming mindset that most of our students are in. Anytime you see that little bar add up with points and with the green, they get excited. They love it. But the most important part here is the quests. The quests are where the kids typically live to get their assignments. In our quests, we'll go ahead and click into a quest, and I'll let John kind of describe some of that to you.
So on this side of the quest, we actually build out our quests so that they're named Quest 11, and they actually have a brief description of the content that we'll be going over in the quest. And we'll just go over here to Get Smart With Me, which covered smart objects in Photoshop. And you can see that each section has a different phase. We have stage 1, 2, 3, 4, and then finally 5 for this one quest. All of these quests, stage 1, these are all the formatives. So when students are done, they actually complete a formative side of the quest, and they would move on. And if they're in the game gathering experience, they wouldn't be able to move on to the next formative until they've actually marked it completion, and then we would get notified that they say they've marked it for completion, and we can check it on the other end. And here you can see that everything we've done for the gamified environment, we've actually independently and individually and collaboratively produced the videos for these quests. We haven't gathered from other things or other resources. We've just decided this is the best place to do it, this is the best item, and here we can see just a list of all the videos that we produced throughout the year for all of these quests.
As the students are turning in their work, the way that we go about checking their work is through what's called the clipboard. The clipboard requires a lot of setup on our end in the beginning of the year. However, as we move through the year, it really pays off. We come on into the clipboard and we choose which class we want to go through. I'm going to go to my 6th period. You can see that right now John and I are sharing, which we have reflected and might not be the best way to continue next year because the kids are really producing a lot of work, and it slows down the system, but it's one of those things we have to reevaluate over summer. But here, every single student is listed. It shows where they are, how many points, if they've done anything to do badges, damaged, all sorts of information here. And I'm going to go on into Joey, and in his stats page, we can see he's made himself a little profile image from Supernatural there, and it shows in here all the quests that he's accessed. Anything where he's turned in a link, gone through, maybe not clicked on something, and this is also a really easy, quick way to give feedback. So let's go to his website, which is his blog. This all gets set up within our own hosting and under our control. And in here, he has posted some of the work for our current assignments, which is with photography, depth of field. And all of his work is all just posted in here. So we come on in, we see what he has completed. We then can come back, because it opened up a new tab, we come back to our clipboard, and I can, or John can, immediately click in where it says see me. We can type in whatever we want to type and tell the students. So maybe it was see me, or great job, and I click on send. And when we do that, when the student logs in the next day, and it doesn't really show a lot right here, but when the student logs in the next day, they'll see a little symbol up at the top left, and it'll be red, and it'll have a little 1, and it'll be the great job message from us.
And it also allows us to evaluate, because students could, if it's incomplete or if they miss something, it allows us to go to the clipboard, click on the actual quest or section of the quest that is problematic, and then we can send a message that's specific to that quest. So it gives opportunity for students to correct or improve on any skills.
We can also take away the experience points. So if he had not completed properly, like he's not actually through the 4th stage of this quest, which, another little side note, when you hover over any of these, it shows when they first clicked on it and when they've last clicked on it. So today happens to be at the end of April, and it shows that he accessed that last stage of the quest on the 27th. So if we were to click on that stage or the stage before and click on the send, whether we type in see me or anything else, it actually will remove points from this student. So when he comes back to class next, he's going to wonder why in the world we have now sent him a great job and then a see me message, which will be a interesting conversation. However, the kids will see that. It grabs their attention. It shows them, hey, you've lost points. Hey, come see the teacher. So they can get that instant feedback, which is a huge piece of being able to move forward successfully. And for us, that timestamp is huge. They can't tell us that they finished it 3 weeks ago when it shows their first click and their most recent click. So another piece is our store. With the website,
Let me go with that.
John's going to kind of go over the store.
Okay, so we're just going to go back to the actual website, to the dojo end. And the store is really a work in progress. We basically developed a digital media dojo to engage students, and our DPP and the evidence we show will actually, I think, really support that it was successful. But the store is another piece that we kind of put off because it has the potential to be very complex but very rewarding. What we plan on doing with it next year is really integrating classroom procedures so that students have a clear distinction of when they can use headphones. It's actually all these things can be based on their actual performance in class. They can even buy rewards such as, listening to my music while I'm working, or even buying an entire day where, we don't hassle them about it, and they can use the computer for games. And that would be something that would be a high-priced item for only students that really have high achievements for all of their quests, not just the students that just do the bare minimum. So we have a lot of plans for the store here, and it allows students every time they get experience, but they also get honor for helping students, and that's one way that they can actually earn extra gold, is that they can claim that by, or even going through and finding maybe misspellings or finding things that students can improve, and commenting on their fellow classmates' work and saying, hey, this could be done better, here, check this out, or I learned this, maybe you could use it. So this way we can actually really structure a kind of a positive feedback system where students are helping students and there's incentive for it.
We are truly, with all of this combined, moving to being the facilitator. In the 21st century classroom, the teacher is more a facilitator than directly in front of the class going over each and every lesson. One of the huge pieces that I've gotten feedback from the students is that they love hitting pause on their teacher. With our different videos that we've done, as they go through, they hit play, they hit pause. We try and keep them under 7-8 minutes at the maximum end, and it's a way that we know what to expect, that they're in the video, they're hitting play, they're hitting pause. We've caught students who we thought were playing on their phones actually watching the video on their phone and doing the work on the computer screen. And they just hit pause, go do what they need to do. It's not something you can do in a traditional classroom. And I've had many students tell me that that's the only way that they've accomplished anything. I don't know about you, John.
Yes, definitely.
But it is just a piece that we found invaluable. The store, they'll be able to actually give us feedback, and we're asking for feedback, such as what would be a great item you would want to get your work done and buy. What would entice you to go give feedback to another student?
What would be a fair price?
Yes, a fair price for sure. Some things to add to the store is actually, a student comes in late, they have to purchase that they were late or purchase that they were absent, because when a student is late or absent, not only is it a disruption to the class, but it's a disruption to their individual learning, and they would take a hit on that, and it's not anything that is going to negatively affect their grade.
It just might rob them or deprive them of privileges in the class that they would want. So instead of hurting their grade, we just, if they are delinquent or if they're late on giving assignments or if they're late to class, then it just in the future will diminish their ability to, say, listen to music or have opportunities to play games in the future if they're done with their work and they can't buy that privilege because they've lost it due to excessive absences or excessive tardies.
It kind of gives the kids no excuse.
Yes.
And the experience that they have that shows up every day when they log into the classroom does not directly relate to their grade. Some kids click through just to read ahead. That doesn't mean that their grade went up by that many points. And when you look at this, that's out of 195. That's a lot more than 100%. So the kids really start learning that that's just showing where they are, what they can purchase, what they can gain that privilege to do, and really show them in comparison to everyone else where they are. But overall, I would say that the students have had a really positive reaction. A lot of growth on our end.
Yes.
A lot of growth on the speed of releasing quests.
Yeah, the pacing has really caught us by surprise. We were surprised how fast the students moved through the content, and forcing us to not only adjust our own pace in developing the content, but also to increase the rigor and complexity of the assignments and making the formatives a little more challenging and making the summatives even more challenging than previously, as the students proved that they could really outpace us.
The speed they go through it and the quality that they're providing just has amazed us. But that is a good bit of our site here of how our students are receiving their instruction, how we are facilitating the class, engaging them, of giving them feedback, rewarding them beyond just the normal letter grade. And we hope that you've enjoyed, and if you have any questions, you can either contact John or I at University or Deltona High.
Yep.